Good evening. It is 8:30. Good evening. It's like 8:30 in the evening. Good evening, guys. How are you? I hope you are doing fine on this awesome day. I got up this morning and had made my decision as to what video I was going to shoot today. I have about 3 that I really want to get done soon. And because of other things that are going on, you always have to like juggle just your life and your work schedule. And again, I keep saying this in all the videos, because I do YouTube, I can kind of, work till 12 at midnight and then not work the next day, or go to Kingston with Paul for the day on a Monday and not have to worry about trying to get a video shot or edit or all that kind of stuff. So I just want to discuss a couple of my little problems I had to persevere through today. Not big problems. They're just like eye rolling. Why is this happening? So I decided today to do the 24-hour MRE video. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll move all the cars. I'll get them rusty in the middle of my driveway so I can put the tripod at a certain spot. And then I decided to use my big, let me get it, hang on. And we're back. So this is my big expensive camera that I bought originally to shoot the cooking reviews with. This is the Canon R. There was the RP, but it was even more expensive than this one, so I went with the R. Thought I was going to do everything I wanted it to do. It does great focus and all that stuff. I wish the lens was a little bit wider, especially when we were shooting in Paul's kitchen. I just needed to be closer to him, again, to get over his shoulder, but I needed to be wide, so it's just not wide enough. But again, I bought this, and then, I don't know, a couple months later, Paul was in a motorcycle accident, and then a year later, he got the throat cancer. So we did shoot a few videos with this, but I usually save this camera for doing, I don't know, there's certain types of videos, a certain feel, because the quality of this camera is just amazing, but it's just not practical for me to shoot the kind of videos that I shoot, especially when I'm in my car and all that stuff. So, shooting with my iPhone and the Action 3 and GoPros and stuff, that's just the way I like to do my stuff. But when I want to shoot something like I did today, I'm like, you know what, I'll use this. It's just, I don't know, there's something about this camera that I love, and this beautiful microphone on the top is just one of those amazing things that I upgraded this camera. One of my favorite things is when the camera turns on, the mic turns on. You don't have to worry about turning on and off. The mic I had before this, you had to remember to turn it on, because if you have this plugged into your camera and you forget to turn that on, you have no sound. So, and that happened. It happens. It's probably happened to a bunch of people in the past. So the fact that this turns on and off by itself when the camera's on and off, that was a huge bonus. The one thing I forgot in today's shoot about this camera is it shoots a certain size file or a certain length of time file, and then the camera stops shooting, and it comes up with on the screen, it'll come up saying, oh, it's reached the maximum recording time or whatever. And so when I was set up this morning, put on the tripod, shot for a bit, and I think it's probably around the 24-minute mark. I can't exactly remember it's almost at the 30-minute mark that this will shoot, and then it will just stop. And if you're not paying attention, especially when you're the only person that's doing this production, again, you're the sound guy, you're the camera guy, you're the lighting guy, you're the everything guy. So you have to make sure you are kind of paying attention to everything all the time, or you waste your time. And especially when you only have like 3 MREs, and if you just didn't notice for 20 minutes that you weren't videotaping because the camera just stopped, you could potentially destroy the whole video. So this shut off. Luckily, I noticed. I only lost maybe not much. I probably lost about 10 to 20 seconds, because I did keep looking at at the monitor. So this has a flip out articulating screen on the side, so that's facing me. So I noticed that it was stopped videotaping. So I quickly took the card out, ran inside, put it in my computer to see where it ended. What part of the video did it stop at? Because then I'll just, because I thought it was the battery originally, because the battery wasn't 100% charged, and I thought I'd be able to get through it without. So I had this one charging, and then that's not the battery. This is the battery, just to make sure it's a little tiny battery. So this was on the wall charging. The one in here I thought died. Switched out the batteries, started recording again, but again I had to figure out where it left off and then continue on with that. So that was one of my problems today. Another problem was my neighbor started up his lawnmower, and then the weed eater, and then the blower, the leaf blower. So luckily I was using this. This is my little lav microphone. I bought 2 of them because of JP and Julia back in the day. I'm like, how do you guys do your sound? And they said these things are amazing. Before that they used old iPods, and there was an app that you could put on your iPod, and then you just have a microphone like one of these lab mics plugged into this, and that's how they did it. And then they found these things, and these are amazing. So they are a self-recording unit, so they only records to itself. It doesn't record to the camera, which is kind of handy because I could be hundreds of meters away from the camera, and it's going to pick up my audio perfectly because it's recording to this. It's not trying to send a signal back to the camera and into that. Again, the only problem with that is I have now a file of audio here, video and audio here. I have to bring them into Final Cut Pro, tell it to synchronize those 2 clips so it puts the audio, matches the audio perfectly, and then uses this one over that one. It kind of bumps out that audio and just uses this one. I think there's a couple settings in there you can have, so you could have either or if you wanted to see which one's better, but this one is definitely better. But again, the best thing about this is it picks up audio mainly around me. In the video, if you guys watched my MRE video, you'd be able to hear the other sounds that are around me, but not as loud as this microphone was picking up. So that was another situation I had to deal with today. The other one was, so this evening, so my first shoot was at 12. The next shot I did was just about 25-30 minutes ago. I think I started shooting at 7. And so, again, halfway through the shoot, camera stops. I'm like, ugh. And so luckily, I think I just looked at it, noticed it was recording, did something here, and then when I looked back, it had that saying on it. This time I read it from beginning to end to make sure I knew what was going on, and it said it's reached its maximum capacity for recording. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Again, I had to figure out where it left off, and I knew it was only like seconds that I missed out, and so it got hit. But when I saw that it stopped recording, I shut this off, fixed this. I said, okay, I understand what's going on there. Hit record, sat back down, forgot to turn this on. So I didn't get audio. So again, these are the things that just happen, and you have to deal with them, and you have to figure it out. There was a time where I videotaped me eating at that diner, Wimpy's Diner, and I was using, I can't remember which camera I was using, but I was using the camera and a microphone. The microphone was supposed to be plugged into that, but I wasn't pushed in all the way, or the camera was set to a weird setting. I think it was those little white cameras I used to have. It was set to a setting where it would record for 5 minutes, and if you didn't hit stop and record, and now this just shut off for no apparent reason. Jeez, what is going on? So when I did the Wimpy's thing, again, it would record up to 5 seconds or 5 minutes, and then go back and record over that same 5 minutes again. It was meant to save time. So you let's say you had it on your helmet, you press it, let's say you're fishing, you press it, it's recording, and let's say you catch a fish, that's great, then you press it off, press it on again, and it'll do the same thing. But if you're fishing and fishing and fishing and you're not catching anything, it's just not going to make a huge long clip. So that was a good thing for that, but unfortunately I had to go back and reshoot that whole video again. So that was unsalvageable because there was no footage at all. I had the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of that shoot, and all the stuff in between was gone. Anyway, so that's what I had to do. Oh, and then when I was doing tonight's thing, Sunny was at the one window and just meowing at me because she was outside earlier watching me set up all this stuff for the night shoot, and then I put her inside and she didn't want to go inside, so she sat at the window and just meow meow, and I'm just like, decided to stop. I didn't stop the videotape. I just went inside, closed the window, came back outside, sat back in Rusty's door, started going, and then she went to the back door and the screen was open, and she started meowing there, and it was just distracting me big time. So, well, there you go, guys. There's a little insight as to some of my problems and how I have to deal with it and persevere and just get the video done. Unless the severity of it destroys the video and you just got to scrap the whole thing and start again, which has happened multiple times in my past. And if you're thinking about becoming a YouTuber, it'll happen to you too. I hope it doesn't. I wish you the best. I hope it doesn't. And I hope you just don't get angry. Just persevere, and maybe the next video will be even better. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this vlog. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.